Hey guys, it's me. I'm back again. So I decided I'm going to start a little series just because, school's starting back up for a lot of people, and I am trying to just, reach out to pretty much everybody, especially with like what I want to do with this channel. It is my self-care series. So self-care, basically just taking stress and anxiety is on the rise, especially with like our younger generation. How we go through so much and we put so much on ourselves, and we're all just trying to like grow to be what the other generations were. We're trying to be something different, or we're trying to make a name for ourselves, like how us as under 30 people think. So it's best to kind of find ways to combat that stress and anxiety, and to kind of just find ways to just take care of ourselves and to not feel so worn out, because stress and anxiety it leads to a lot of different things, like just illness in the body, just things with like weight gain, depression, things like that. This video is just gonna give you guys some tips of how I personally handle my stress and anxiety. I am not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, I'm not any of that. If you guys feel like there are things that you honestly need help with, I would suggest to talk to a medical provider, talk to a psychiatrist, talk to a therapist. It's fine to go see a therapist, there's nothing wrong with it. Go see one, talk to people. Therapy is not for talking about your trauma and childhood issues and stuff. It's just basically there to help you with like dealing with everyday life, helping with like stress and anxiety, things like that. So it is okay to go to therapy and seek out help. I'm just giving you guys tips of how I personally handle my own stress, and hopefully it will help you guys handle your own. Before we get started, please make sure you guys check out my channel. This is my second video, or my third. I don't know, one of those number videos. I don't care. Really want you guys to check it out. I'm really just trying to just help people out, just where it be like makeup, beauty, self-care, motivation, self-love, things like that. I just want to kind of like reach out to people and let them know like, hey, there's someone out here going through the same thing as you. I'm just like a regular schmegular girl, black girl in the Midwest, who is just trying to make a life for herself. I just want you guys to check it out. I got some other videos on there, and just see, just check it out. So like, subscribe, and all those things that YouTubers usually say. But I mean, just do whatever you want. I don't care. Just look at the videos. Look at them. Without any further ado, let's get started. Let's first go off by just talking about like my personal journey with stress and anxiety. My stress and anxiety really started back when I was in senior year of high school, going into college. High school was kind of really easy for me because I was always the overachiever. I just kind of strived for whatever I did, and I really didn't face much of like issues or struggling or whatever like that. I mean, both of my parents are disabled and retired, so like yeah, I dealt with like the financial issues, but I didn't really see it as much until I got to college. When I got in college and I started working like actual jobs, and I actually just got into school, and I kind of had that freedom, and I really wasn't like thinking all about, oh, I'm in college now, I got all the independence and I'm doing whatever I want and blah 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 blah. No, girl. No. That is not how college works. You honestly have to sit down and like prepare yourself for each and everything. It's a whole different lifestyle. I'm just being like from my freshman year of college to right now that I'm a senior, I've actually dealt with like a lot of stress. Last year I took a semester off, actually, because I was so stressed out, and I actually could not afford school for a whole semester. Like I was almost close to just dropping out of SLU, but by the grace of God, I was able to stay in there. It's my last year, so thank God I am out of there. Woo! I've had other friends who dealt with taking off a semester and trying to handle that pressure of financial aid and taking care of family and things like that. And I was dealing with the same thing, and actually right now I'm dealing with it right now, especially since I'm getting to that point where I'm about to graduate, and I'm trying to focus on like what I'm going to do after graduation, like if I'm going to get a job, if I'm going to go back to school. So all of that stuff is kind of going back in my head. And also I'm dealing with like family things and like making sure my family's okay. My parents, they'll always say like, don't worry about your family, you know, you love us and, you know, pray for us and that's all you can do. Don't worry about nothing else. And none of this is stuff that you can control. It's like, yeah, that's cool to say that I can't control it and, you know, don't worry about things you can't control. But it's when it's around people who are like close to you and you were really close to them and you love them and you kind of grew this bond with them, it's really hard to say like, oh, I'm not worried about your issues, I don't care. Like, I want to help y'all out. I don't want to see you guys hurt. I hate seeing you guys suffering like this. But, you know, it's a lot to put on some, like, a 21-year-old. I still have, like, my life to live. You know, I need to go out and, you know, be social. I need to go to school. I need to, you know, go to work, things like that. There's a lot for me to do as a young child, as a young person, and you know, to put on the stress of, like, having, like, the entire family stress on you. It takes a lot on you. So I kind of had to find ways to kind of, you know, separate myself from what my, you know, other people are going to and going through, and not putting all of that burden on you. So like, it's okay to care about them, be there for them, but it's not okay to keep carrying their burdens when you feel like it's nothing really that you can control. It's something in their situation. I mean, the best thing I do, I just pray for them and then hope to God that, you know, everything gets better in their situation. Because, you know, even though they're still your family, it's still something between them and God that they're going through. So I can't really control that. So I had to learn that. I had to learn that the hard way, you know, but I mean, it got better, and I'm still growing. I'm still learning. I'm 21, so I'm going to continue growing and learning. So that's like my little short, not really short, but a little story about my little girl, you know, journey with stress and anxiety. So basically, I did what a lot of people would do. I went on like YouTube, I went on Google, I went on BuzzFeed, you know, Yahoo, all of those websites, and to try to find, ooh, my hands are a little bit ashy. Let me take care of that real quick. My bad, y'all. Just basically researched so many different websites just to try to find ways to handle my stress and anxiety. But at the end of the day, just like I told you guys at the beginning of this video, it all depends on like what works for you. And I mean, I do a lot of different things to deal with my stress. It basically depends on the levels of like how stressed I am or what is stressing me out. So, you know, usually that's about the same for almost people. Almost every other person is like kind of, you know, whatever you do to help relieve yourself is based on like what you're going through in that situation. It's kind of, I have like just multiple different ways of how I deal with stress, so I'm just gonna share those few tips with you guys. So let's get started with those tips. The first tip I have is my favorite thing to do: reading. I love to read. When I got in college, I did not read that often, only because I always had that same excuse of like, well, professors made us read like textbooks and books that I don't want to read, and anytime I get something assigned to me that I don't want to read it, and I don't want to read it all the time, that's just dumb right there. That's like my student book. And it's a book that honestly I really would like to read. Like, I've been reading this book called The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. It's really good. And I also I'm reading this book called How to Train a Wild Elephant, getting into like mindfulness and taking care of just like basically more self-care and more of handling your stress. I just do a lot of reading. It kind of just helps me center myself and balance and just learn how to kind of, you know, take myself out of the situation I'm in and put me in something else. And also like reading fiction books, like when people read like things like Harry Potter and Game of Thrones and, you know, even other things like that, it kind of just puts them in a whole different world, a world that's different from theirs, so they don't feel so, you know, buckled down into this, boxed into this one little part. There's so many other things. That's why we have people who are gifted like authors who go out there and they write these amazing stories. That's why I love reading. It just kind of puts you in that mindset, and it's really helpful. So, books. Any book that you read, no matter. It could be a comic book, it could be children's books, whatever help you to like just relax. I used to just read Dr. Seuss for fun. Really, it's relaxing. Just that Hop on Pop, Cat in the Hat, ABC. Oh, the places that you go. All of those Dr. Seuss books, those are helpful. Helpful. Yes, they are. The next thing I do is like my favorite thing, and actually pretty sure you guys probably heard this all over the place. Journaling. This is my cute little journal I got for like $5 at the bookstore in my school. Honestly, this is the best, one of the best purchases I've made. I love journaling. I don't really like journal like how people think, like diary journal, like, dear diary, I ran into such and such today and she said this and I ain't like it, so I just said and love Linda. No, I write just basically random things that just pop in my head. So it could be from like, oh girl, I need to write down the price of my textbooks. I write that down in a journal. I need to make the schedule for work. I write that down in a journal. I write like my prayers down there. I write like how I be feeling the day I do like my juicing journey. I've been writing some of the stuff now I've been going through, and I write all that down. I write down notes about like credit, how to handle my finances, things I'm going to do when I go into like on my trips, ideas for my videos. I just write everything down, and it's all in this journal. I have like actually another one that's like almost full. Like, journaling has been really helpful for me because like I have a hard time expressing my feelings and talking about. I just, you know, if I can't talk to my mom, who's like one of my confidants, if I can't talk to her about it, if I can't talk to my best friends, if I even can't talk to like my pastor or whatever about it, I write it down in my journal, and you know, it's kind of like, this is it. And I know some people like write down like letters, or they write down notes and they'll burn them. Whatever you do, write down whatever you're feeling and just write it out. Honestly, I promise you, you'll probably feel way better than what you were feeling before. And if you still don't feel better, you know, it's okay. There's other things you can do. So journaling, yes, it's a good thing. Next thing I like to do, which involves kind of like, you know, food wise, I drink tea. I love tea. This is one of my favorite teas. It's mint tea, not mint tea. It's green tea with mint. I love it. Peppermint is actually one of my favorites in the world. It kind of just helps me just relax and just gives me that kind of like, you know, cool vibe and that sense, and just that be like, oh girl, chill out. You here. Here it is. You good. Here it is. I don't know what else I'm gonna say. I drink it hot. I don't really like cold tea that often, but you know, some people like cold tea. I like hot tea because it's a little bit more soothing, and it actually does help like just relax me and just keeps me calm. So that's one thing. Let's see what else I do. Where's the other stuff? Oh yes, so I can't really show you guys, but I listen to music. Music helps me stay calm. Music takes me into a whole nother universe, a whole nother world that no one can really get me from. Whether it be like really high turn up music, whether it be some trap music, whether it be music that put me in my feelings, emo music, all that stuff out there, I listen to it. I'll even listen to classical music if it gets to the point. I listen to classical, gospel, pop, rock, jazz, R&B, hip hop, trap. I listen to all of it. Like I say to all the people who meet me, I listen to anything from Bach to Beyonce. I literally listen to everything in between. Only thing I don't listen to is bluegrass country. No. But if you like bluegrass country music, you can do that. But just don't expect me, Glencoco, to ever listen to any bluegrass country music. I don't want to hear a bluegrass or country in that. Alright? No. It's a no for me. It's a no. So whatever music makes you feel like, you know, really calm and cool, listen to it. It's honestly, music just like, it's there to give you that kind of boost of like, you know, whatever you're feeling. You know, you can listen to some emo music, listen to some, you know, Green Day, listen to some death metal. I think metal music. I don't listen to that either, but you know, if that's your thing, that's screamo, if that's you, go for it. I don't understand it, but go for it. It's all you. Go for it. I like candles. I love candles. Love candles. I don't care. I mean, I care about the scent, and I do like the candles that have really good scents, like Yankee Candle and what was that? Bath Body Work, whatever. I was gonna say Bed Bath Beyond. Anyway, you know which one. I like those, but I just buy like candles that honestly just give out a good light. It could be like the little tea light candles. I also like incense. Kind of just to give my room that like really smooth vibe. I also like Palo Santo. So Palo Santo is like a really nice wood, and it really helps to just soothe the vibes wherever you're at. It kind of just keeps things calm. So if you feel things are like wherever you're at, where you know where you're allowed to light things up and have smoke in there, caution. Just, you know, get some Palo Santo. I got mine from this store here. It's like a little holistic living store here in St. Louis, and I just, you know, I light it up, and they're honestly really affordable. It's like $1 each, but they last so long. I had mine for about 3 weeks, and I actually had this one about 3 weeks, and this is how far I've gone. And I light it almost every day. So yeah, but I just light it up to kind of like give me that cool sense, like cool vibe in my room. And you know, I just listen to some music. I kind of just set up a whole like mood, and like I said, like here it's just chill. So kind of that's how I kind of like want my room to be set up. I get like good scents going on. I have the incense going, you know, I love those, and it just kind of helps everything just like balance itself. Just also exercising too. So I mean, I've been exercising like 3 times a week now, especially with this juicing that I have, and honestly it's just been so helpful. I love it so much, and it kind of just gives me that, you know, feeling of just getting out of like the situation I'm in. It kind of just helps me relieve that stress through like sweating, just working out, punching things, doing things like that. And I know a lot of people, you know, the gym might intimidate them. Honestly, it's okay. You don't have to go to a gym. You can go running if you want. If you don't run, go walking around your neighborhood. If you feel your neighborhood's safe, you know, I like to go to like the mall and walk. Granted, I like to shop too, but I go to the mall and I walk around. It kind of gives me that feeling like just, you know, getting me out of that environment or whatever I was in, and just kind of put me in something else, and kind of just put my mind on something else. Just to walk away from that situation, period, it's just honestly just really helpful. So if you ever just need a break for something and you just want to be left alone and you just want to walk away, do that. And it's fine to do that. Last thing I would say is to talk to somebody. It could be a parent, it could be, you know, a best friend, it could be a professor, any of those people who you feel like you can trust. Talk to them. It is okay to go and talk to somebody. And if you can't be like some, you know, person that's close to you, talk to a therapist. It is okay to go to therapy. Like I said before, it's perfectly fine. You know, just find a way to get those feelings, emotions out. You don't want that stuff to bottle in you, because that could lead to other drastic things that you don't want to put that on yourself, especially with you being so young. It is not good to have all of that on you. I would not be here if it wasn't for like my mom helping me get through my little things that I was going through, and my dad being there for me. You know, I didn't really go to therapy because I really couldn't afford it, but I know that therapy is an option, you know, that if I do need to go to that. But you know, my parents have really been here for me, and I'm grateful that I have my parents in my life. I know some people don't, and you know what, there's other people out there for you. You know, there's, even if you feel like you don't have anybody to really talk to, there is someone out there who honestly would like to listen to you and who will sit and just work with whatever you're going through. There's someone out there. Don't feel like you're alone. Trust me, you are not alone. We all want you to survive. I want you to survive. I need you to survive. You know, this world's crazy. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to lose anybody. I want everybody to, you know, rise up to the top. I want everybody to get up there and, you know, do the big thing and, you know, make something of themselves. That's all that, you know, we're here for. We have a purpose in this world. We need to go out there and, you know, live that purpose. That is my tips. If anything else come up, I will definitely share with you guys in the other episodes of this series. But I'm really excited to start the series with you guys. I hope that you guys really like them. And you know, like I said, if you have any other tips that you want to share, please share with me. I would really, really, really love to see them. And you know what? I think that was pretty much it today. And also, yes, so I'll be doing other makeup tutorials later. You know, this channel's kind of mix of beauty and self-care and all that stuff, so I'm not going to do a fully all makeup tutorials. It's going to be a mix of everything. You know, always remember to be proud of who you are and stay blessed. Bye, guys.